I hate construction, mainly because there's construction happening right now in my neighborhood. So grab a blanket, turn off your lights, and talk about these people that I really hate. God. Creepy construction worker. A few years back, I worked the night shift at a hotel as a house aide, just cleaning up the property, delivering items to rooms, etc. That kind of job. One winter, the hotel was undergoing renovations in the lobby, so we had a construction crew staying with us. They stopped around 5, 6 o'clock, but the front desk worker and I would see them at all hours during the night. There was one worker in particular who gave off a super creepy vibe, but I was always polite because I don't like to judge. And the winter business was really slow, so one night at around 1 o'clock, I was chatting with my coworker in the makeshift lobby, one of our meeting rooms, when the construction worker came in and acted like he was interested in grabbing some snacks. He hung around for 5 to 10 minutes talking her up, and she kept shooting these glances at me, practically begging me not to leave her alone with this guy. I thought she was overreacting in general, but I never left and made up some story about needing her help with something else. The guy finally goes back to his room and she breathes a sigh of relief and told me this guy had been hitting on her for days. She turned him down politely before, but he just won't let up, and he always gave her the feeling that they should not be alone together again. I thought she may be overreacting, but I had not spoken with him at this point, so I could not really say anything about it. Well, 3 o'clock rolls around and I decide to go on my nightly sweep of the floors. In the winter, business was always really slow, so the process was really quick. As I'm rounding a corner, who do I run into but the creeper and the coworker of his? I smile and say, "Hello," and go to be on my way. And as I'm walking away, I hear the creeper say to his coworker, "Don't touch her. I'm going to be the one getting in her pants." I was alarmed, but I played it off thinking they'd been talking about someone else before I ran into them. Every night after that, I received a call to deliver an item to the creeper's room, and every time I arrived, he would come outside of the door and close it behind him. He always looked me dead in the eyes and gave me the smile that made my stomach churn. I would quickly give him his items, wish him a good night, and hurry away as fast as I could, trying not to give off the impression that I was scared. For 3 long weeks, I did my best to avoid running into him at night. Some nights I was lucky and he never came about, at least that I knew of, but other nights I would run into him in the hallways, which terrified me. Like I said, in the winter, business was so slow, we didn't have 5 or 6 guests combined on all 3 or 4 floors. I always made sure my radio was in plain sight, which was smart because I saw him eye it a few times. Finally, the construction was finished and I was relieved to hear that they would be going away, and I wouldn't have to see him anymore. But not without seeing him one last final time. I visited the hotel one early morning to pick up my check, and as I left there, he was in the parking lot. I gave him a strained smile and attempted to walk past him, but he stopped to tell me, "Sorry if I scared you." And he flashed me that disgusting smile. The fact that he laughed as I hurried away to my car negated his apology, so, creepy construction worker, let's not ever meet again. Construction worker in the ladies' room. Okay, so I grew up in South Florida and have been creeped on for as long as I can remember. This happened back in 2004. I was around 14 to 15 years old at an outdoor mall where teenagers hung out. The thing about South Florida is that the area is under constant construction, just always, man. Anyways, I was grabbing a bite to eat with a friend from school at Johnny Rockets in the mall before heading to a movie. We decided to use the ladies' room before we left, thinking the movie theater restaurants might have long lines. We enter the bathroom and there are 2 stalls, one regular and one handicap. My friend goes into the regular stall and I head to the handicap stall and I yelled, "Woohoo! I got the big ball of sweet," as I entered the handicap stall. I was 15 and that was hilarious, okay? As soon as I enter the stall in the ladies' room, I lock eyes with a male construction worker still wearing his hard hat and reflective vest who was pleasuring himself. As we locked eyes, he let out the strangest noise ever. It was like, and he, well, finished. I screamed bloody murder and ran out of the stall with my friend following, asking, "What the heck was that about, man?" We ran out to the Johnny Rockets and I called my friend crying to pick me up. I don't know why I didn't tell management or a police officer or anything like that, but I just wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. Years later, my friends still joke and make the and jump over the bathroom stalls to scare me. This was more than 10 years ago, and I can still see his face and hear the noise. Yeah, random masturbating construction worker. Let's never meet again. Man impersonating a construction worker blocked me on my bike with his car. Hello. This is my first post on here. While I do have some other weird stories, you'll have some after working in a shady area, to be honest. This one happened recently and really honestly had me creeped out. To set the story, I bike 5 miles one way, 5 days a week to my job, and have been doing that for 8 months. I honestly love it. It forces me to get exercise and it's cheap transportation. I take the main road with a lot of traffic, so I never felt unsafe in any way. I also only ride on the sidewalk since it is safer, right? So, right now during the pandemic time, my hours have been consistent for the most part, working from 11 to 7 every day. One day coming home, I was passing by an area with a lot of construction going on. To give you a better visual, I ride on the sidewalk along a busy road. As I'm biking, I see a man in a black pickup truck parked as if he's about to pull out of the area, but he's waiting for a spot to open in the traffic. He then sees me and reverses to let me by. I remember thinking, oh great, he's letting me by, and I wouldn't have to ride around behind his car to get to the other side. But as I am getting closer, he does a stop motion with his hand, and he's wearing a safety vest. So I assume he works there and there might be like a problem up ahead, like a pothole, etc. So I stopped. He spoke with authority, like as if he's an officer stopping me or something, and asked if I bike for transport or leisure. I was a little confused since that was a weird question, but I tell him for transport, I bike to my job. He then says, "Do you bike for leisure?" I'm asking because I bought a bike and I'm looking for a riding buddy. Like, I'm not freaking out or anything. I feel a little calm since there are a bunch of other cars passing by us, so we're not secluded, but I don't know this man. He's a complete stranger, and I was under the impression he worked there and was stopping me for something important. I tell him not really because I'm too tired on my days off and use him to get errands and stuff done. He says, "Oh, I get it. Well, there's a bike marathon happening soon if you want to go with me. I'm Shane, by the way. What's your name?" I tell him my name and say, I don't know. I might be busy then. I'm a little awkward in social situations with people I don't know, and this whole interaction was just so off I didn't really know what to say. He changes the subject and starts looking at my bike. He points at it and asks if it's a hybrid. I say yeah, and he says, "Can I see it?" and starts getting out of his car. This is where it starts getting weird. He tells me he sees me riding before and thought I was cute. He's also looking at my bike and commenting on saying, "Oh, that's nice, it's aluminum. And what the heck is on the inside?" I'm also sitting on my bike ready to get the heck out of there. He then asks if I have a boyfriend and I tell him yes I do. He lets out a big groan and says, "Ah man, really? Because if we go biking together, it would be like a date kind of thing." I tell him, "Yeah, sorry," and he goes, "Are you sure? Are you ready to kick him to the curb or what?" I just want to get out of here at this point, and he parked his car literally in front of the sidewalk, so it wouldn't be that easy to speed past him. He seems upset and kept asking if I'm sure I have one and how long we've been together. I say, "A couple years." Well, I'm crunched for time and I have to go, and I sped off. I was really racing home after that, and I was honestly starting to get more and more upset that he basically wanted to look like he works in that construction area by wearing that vest because he thought it'd make me stop. That's so creepy and messed up. If you want to talk to someone, that's not the way to do it. It also sounds like he may have been watching me for a long time already and knew my schedule or something and was waiting for me to ride by there. As soon as I got home, I was so weirded out and upset. He basically tracked me. I went on Amazon and purchased a taser gun and pepper spray. I had a mini vacation and was off for 5 days after that, but now I'm back to riding to work again every single day, and I haven't seen him since. This has probably happened maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. I'm also hoping to spread some awareness for anyone who bikes. If anyone tries to stop you on your bike, please be wary about it. And honestly, do not even stop at all. So creepy older man who tricked me and blocked me on my bike. Let's not meet again.